Welcome to Next Radio with Broadcast Bionics. Innovative solutions for creative people.
The clock started. Quick, we can't mess around. Let's crack on. Hello, I'm Iain Lee. This is Katherine Boyle. She is my producer. I am her presenter. And we were kind of struggling. Well, you know, a lot of you are important radio bods. A lot of you are like me, radio geeks that just kind of love it. And we thought that what we talk about today is the thing that we have learnt more than anything is the importance between the producer and the presenter relationship, basically. And a lot of radio bosses, a lot of radio people either think the show is the presenter, which is wrong, I think, or that the show is the producer, which is also wrong, I think. And I have worked with presenters. I was probably one of these presenters as well. David Lloyd is here, he'll be able to tell you. Who, when I was at LBC, it's my show, you'll do as I say, I'm in charge, I know what's going on. Over time, I have learnt that actually it's really important to have a producer that you have an excellent relationship with, and that it's kind of more of a 50-50 thing. I've worked with producers who think it's their show, and I'm kind of their mouthpiece. I did some work at 5 Live. I won't be going back, so I can say this freely.
Not that freely.
We didn't click. The show that I was sitting in for, it turned out it was kind of more of the producer's show, and I was sort of their mouthpiece, and that's fine. That's how they did it. It didn't work for me. I've had, throughout my career, I've worked with loads of producers. I've had 3 brilliant ones that get what I'm saying. The first one was at LBC, a guy called Chris, who got the relationship. Second one was Eloise, Absolute. And I'm kind of lucky enough to stumbled upon Katherine Boyle, who also gets the importance of the relationship. And so I shall shut up talking then.
Okay, so I never wanted to be Ian's producer. I didn't want to be anyone's producer. I've been a presenter, and I found it really hard to be able to sit back and nurse someone through a program. And sometimes that's what it took. Don't need to do that with Iain. I don't need to do that at all. And in fact, Ian's the sort of person who I would have liked to have been when I was a presenter, which is kind of nice.
A bloke.
Well, yeah, you know, being a great big hairy bloke. No, but apart from that, you know, he's someone who I think we're on the same wavelength with things. He's doing really, he speaks his mind. He's not trying to be a presenter, which a lot of presenters make the mistake of trying to do. And I also don't feel like he's someone for whom I'm just the secretary, you know. I've done things before, I've done shows before when I've had to actually physically go and print off all the scripts and make sure they have them one by one, because if you give them to them all at one time, they lose them. You know, so that's not Iain. In fact, you know, if he reads a couple of lines from the scripts I've written, I feel pretty,
But the thing
lucky.
is as well, this is a weird thing to talk about because you can't manufacture this relationship. I have been put with people who, on paper, we should have got on and gelled and it should have been brilliant. And kind of professionally, it's been okay, but that sort of spark wasn't there, and I would sometimes feel resentful of the suggestions or the instructions they gave me. They would, completely poo-poo a suggestion that I made, and we both ended up kind of not doing very well out of the deal and feeling not respected, I kind of guess. So you can't manufacture that relationship, but it can improve over time. And I think if you get that great relationship between the presenter and the producer, you kind of get the best radio. It involves trust, it involves respect. There are times when Katherine will make a call in my ear or on my screen that I may not agree with, but I trust her well enough to know that she has 99 times out of 100, there was one massive fuck up you did and you were wrong. No, you were wrong.
I disagree, but...
Most of the time, she's got an excellent reason for why. She knows something that I don't know, or she's heard or spotted something that I don't know. And there are other times when I've kind of wanted to go further with something, and she's trusted me because she knows that I've got a question that I want to do 2 minutes in, 2 minutes further on, you know.
I think the art we've learned is, and looking at each other, I mean, God, I've worked on programs, again, when I was a presenter, where the producer never looked at me once, you know, and I would go into the studio on my own. She would turn up once I was already on air, and she'd disappear before I'd finished. It's like, thanks for being on the phone, but I don't know what you were doing, probably playing Candy Crush or something like that. But, you know, it's difficult when you don't have eye contact. And a lot of what we say, because you don't like me shouting in your ear too much, so I try to keep it to the minimum, is gestures.
The hand. Katherine has the hand. Now, the hand. Do the hand.
I have the face as well.
Do the hand
it starts
and the
with the face.
Yeah.
The face is...
You've gone too far. Stop it now. That is...
He hates the hand. But sometimes the hand only
the
the hand
hand
will
makes
do.
me feel like I'm 12 years old. Stop it now.
Well.
And I do, but we go to travel or something. What did you give me the hand for? Let's illustrate it with a couple of... We've got 3 different clips that I think that couldn't have happened if it was just me presenting or if it was just Katherine producing with someone else. I don't think.
No.
It's kind of the relationship that this. Now the first
The
one.
first clip didn't require the hand, because I think you've learnt.
Yeah,
Well
the
done.
first one is a story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you see what I mean? This relationship can collapse very, very quickly. The first one is a story I did not want to do. I didn't want to do it. I thought it was, I love local radio. I love it. But sometimes I think it is a parody of itself. And I thought this story, you know what I mean? There's a parrot has gone missing. If anybody's seen the blue and green parrot, although very sad for any family, they cost a lot of money.
Parrots are expensive.
Parrots cost a fortune. Jeez, I've lost 3 of them, and my local radio station won't broadcast that. This was a story. We've only got 12 minutes left. It's only Trevor Marshall next. He won't mind. He'll let me. Trevor Marshall gave me my break in radio, by the way, so you have him to blame for it. It was a story about a local school where loads of girls had got sent home on the first day of term because their school skirts were too short. Yeah. Didn't want to do it. Why did we end up doing it?
I said you don't have to do it then. Then you went, I should do it though, shouldn't I? Sometimes telling you
Excellent
not to do it
people
works. So we decided to do it anyway.
So
and I said, we'll do it different, we'll do it better.
Yeah.
We
So
did.
a lot of the other shows did, this is outrageous. This is outrageous, sending these girls home. And I kind of thought, as a dad who's got two kids, 2 boys, but 2 kids, this is brilliant. The headmistress has done a brilliant thing. She's imposing the rules, you know. And we spoke to the headmistress, and I went, I'll be honest, I'm kind of on your side.
The thing was, once you got to 50 kids, you start to think, right, I might have a situation on my hands, so I just let it go. No. 120 kids got pulled to one side on one day. 120. You've got to admire the balls, haven't you?
Now, so we spoke to, well, you could see the balls on some of them. That was the problem with the skirts. So we had the headmistress on, and I thought, that's it, it's kind of done and dusted, she's spoken common sense. Then a very, very angry woman called up, and it's Katherine along with Kelly, but primarily Katherine's decision as to who goes on, which callers go on. And was she angry when she spoke to you?
Oh, she was furious. She introduced herself as, I am an angry mum. Okay, through you go.
And that's kind of a brave choice, because I have some producers who would have said at the end of the show, we had a very angry mum call up. We thought she was too angry, so we didn't put her on. But Katherine knew kind of what my skills were with dealing with someone. Do you want to kind of do, this is towards
Halfway
the end
through.
of the first call she made.
We've already spoken to, because she phoned back. You wouldn't think it by the way this ends, but she did. She had a little second run at it and still failed. But anyway, she had a go. Again, you've got to admire the, let's not talk about balls anymore. So we started talking about your headmistress. She came on and said, yeah, I did. I sent some kids home and I told them that their uniform wasn't acceptable. We also had the school outfitter who she'd been saying to go to, and they were measuring all the kids up, and they said, look, if they came in, we measured them. If they tried them on, we made sure that they would not be being sent home. Then Joanna rang up.
It's quite a dull story, but this call...
It's the way I tell it.
No, I don't mean it like that. You know, imagine getting 3 hours of radio out of that, bloody hell. But this call is from Joanna. So she's been on for about 7 minutes, quite a long call. This is the last 45 seconds of it.
The school shop has had 13 complaints.
And your point is?
Well, that's not that many complaints, is it?
Maybe parents haven't been down there yet to complain, but I can tell you a lot more than that.
How many
Ian,
kids
but
were sent home?
Listen, because it's not my side of the story.
How many kids? I'm listening to you, but I just find you very, very rude. How many kids were sent home?
Exceptionally rude as well.
But you called me, thanks. How many kids were sent home?
Susanna Collins seems to know. You seem to be the teacher's pet. Why don't you ask her?
How many kids were sent home?
I don't know exactly. More than the 2 or 3 that she suggested
20.
on the radio.
20. She didn't suggest that.
More than 20, Ian.
How many were sent home?
I shall get a poll together this afternoon. I can find out and give you the exact number, shall I?
Okay. I tell you what, Joanna. Listen, your problem isn't with the school. Your problem with the fact that your daughter wore a skirt. For some reason, you've got issues with teachers and authority, and that's fine.
I really haven't, Ian. I've got a problem with you not asking the proper questions.
Yeah, okay.
You trying to give a one-sided argument as usual because...
Well, if you don't listen, why do you get...
You just didn't ask the right questions, and now you feel bad and embarrassed. Anyway,
I don't feel bad.
I've got to get my kids
I've got to put the phone down! I've got to go and put the phone down!
Boom.
And she's gone!
She's gone.
Oh, dearie me,
up.
Joanna. I expected more than a garbled hit and run from you.
The
I was enjoying that.
Shut up, you idiots, for goodness sakes. Isn't he annoying? What a twat. The hit and run is when someone makes a point and then puts the phone down. I've got to go now, bye-bye. And she did that.
But you could see it coming. She was revving all the way through.
The thing that call went on longer than perhaps other producers. Quite often producers will whisper in the ear, let's move on now. You didn't. Why did you not? Why did you let me go on with that?
Because it was flipping brilliant. She was getting more and more wound up and regressing further and further to being 12. And we heard kids in the background. She's getting kids ready for school. This is what they're hearing their mum doing on the phone to a complete stranger and thousands of others. That's what the phoning became about.
She phoned up 5 minutes later when I was talking to a Mr. T impersonator, and it was the weirdest. This is true. This is true. It was the weirdest thing. Look, the time is zipping past, certainly for us, and maybe dragging on for you lot. What's the second clip that we've got?
The second clip is the Huddleston clip.
Okay, go on. You explain this one. You set this up.
The people of Bedford decided to bestow a blue plaque on Trevor Huddleston's house. Now, he was the Bishop of Stepney, very high up in the anti-apartheid movement, and it was in recognition for his work there. What they left out was the fact that he'd been investigated during the 1970s for indecently touching little boys. And we'd seen the records, the police records, where the police had suggested that he should be done for gross indecency, but they got overridden, didn't they?
It got kind of covered up in the 70s. As it turns out, a lot of this stuff did. So who did we have? Who are we talking to?
Colette.
Local councillor.
Yeah, who was defending him and defending him a bit more.
Let's have and there is a moment in this when Katherine gives me the hand.
You can hear it.
There is a moment when the hand goes up.
I think it's disgusting that this blue plaque is going up. I really, really do.
Well, that's a shame because, as I say, there has been tremendous work that Trevor Huddleston did. He has been spoken very highly of by Archbishop Tuto.
I couldn't care less, Colleen. I wonder what those 4 lads think of him, you know, where he slapped their bums and pinched them. I wonder what they think about him. Probably not got quite the same attitude.
Well, I do have sympathy for people who have been abused.
Oh, that's okay then.
And I would reiterate that if anybody has been abused, and I do agree with you,
Colleen,
that it is hard to come forward and that they should come forward.
Colleen, I'm going to end this because I'll be really honest, Colleen. I think you do I just think you do councillors a bad job. I think you're living in a fantasy world. I really do. I really do. I think it's really sad that this is happening and you can't see how damaging this might be.
I'm sorry about that, but as I say, it is something that is only to commemorate the good work of Trevor Huddleston.
What are you going to do if it gets vandalised?
It certainly wouldn't be replaced.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Colleen.
There was a pause after that. That's when the hand went up to say, "Shut up." She's said it all.
She's given us a handy suggestion.
Yeah,
That's what she's done.
I don't know what he suggested. Anyone goes and does that. And again, going back to this relationship of the producer and the presenter, I'm lucky enough that Katherine gives me the freedom to kind of play around with stuff, but also I know that she's listening to every single thing. And I would probably have asked another question there, and I would probably have pushed it. But I was genuinely really pissed off. I thought it was disgusting. In fact, I remember it even better now. There are transcripts from police statements where he admits to doing this stuff. So it's not did he, didn't he? He admits that he did it. Mm-hmm. And so I would have pushed that even further because Katherine just given me that hand, and that was it. And it made me realise. And there are some producers that wouldn't have done that. There are some producers that would have been angry with me for me allowing myself to get so angry. I mean, I was furious about it.
I think it would have been weird if you hadn't. But it was becoming a runaway train, wasn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But you kind of were pulling on the reins. And then she just gave you that out, and I just thought, right, let's leave it there. That'll do.
This is on a breakfast show. Imagine this on a nighttime show, 10 till 1 at night. How awesome would this be, guys? This pairing, huh? Don't forget that. Now, has anybody got any nighttime gigs going, please? Because getting up at 5 to 4 every morning is doing my nuts. I've got kids, apparently. The last clip is, again, and I have worked with producers who don't, what you're about to hear is me just kind of pushing and pushing and pushing. And I've worked with producers who don't get it, who don't get the repetition. I find repetition in radio actually really, really funny. There's a point where something's funny, and then it stops being funny and it gets really awkward, and then you come out the other side and it starts being funny again. And Kath gets that, and Kath encourages me to go along with it. She knows when a situation like that is coming up or is happening. She's happy to go along with it, happy to, get rid of the news and the travel and all that fun stuff that we have to do if the content is good.
If it's worth it, if the rhythm is building, why am I going to stop it so we can find out that sheer weight of traffic on the M25 again, They can hang on for a minute. Or 10.
This is one of my favourite clips. This is, I was being slightly contentious. It was a very slow news day. And I think I said something along the lines of everybody over the age of 67 should be banned from driving because they're dangerous. Something like that. I don't quite remember the specifics. It's an old one just used to fill in time. And this guy phones up called Jeff. And Jeff is talking, he's an elderly gentleman. Jeff is very angry about what I've said. And I'm asking Jeff one really simple question. Do you drive slowly, Jeff? Jeff, do you... Oh, it's a greatest hits tour, look.
Some of them know this one.
It's like the Eagles going into Hotel California. Just one question. Jeff, do you drive slowly? Do you drive slowly, Jeff?
These big cars are pushing you along with their headlights, and some of them put their beams on to try and make you go faster.
I flip it. I hate that when I'm abiding or slightly below the speed limit, and they're beeping me and flashing me. Oh no, sir, that's going to make me go a little bit slower.
People walk across the road, so you've got to make sure that there's no accidents.
Do you drive, Jeff? Let's be honest. Do you drive?
Yes, I do.
No, hang on. Let me finish the sentence. Do you drive?
Yes.
No, let me finish.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yes, and when I go through the village, they push you along to go faster.
Okay, let me finish this. Jeff, do you drive?
Yes, I do.
Hang on. Jeff, do you drive?
Yes, I do.
I know. Hang on. I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yes, only certain journeys. Yeah, because I'm 80 years old.
Good for you. Well done, fella. But Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yes, I do.
I know. There's more coming.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yes, I do.
I know you do.
Yes, and I've only had one accident in all my time.
Well, I hope you're all right. But Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yeah.
No, hang on.
Nearly.
Do you drive?
Yes.
I know you do.
Yeah.
There's more coming.
Yeah.
Do you drive?
Yeah.
Well, that's great to know. Jeff, thanks very much for your call.
And that must have been weird for you. Do you know, it's so nice hearing this stuff that we do every single day in front of an audience and hearing an audience laughing at it. Honestly, it just makes my life complete. So thank you very much for that. We've got 50 seconds. Do you find it weird, though? Because you've worked with presenters that sometimes don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
How do I kind of rank with the other men in your life?
Well, obviously you're the best. No, seriously, it's a real pleasure to work with you because I think we're along the same lines. We hear that, and I just knew he was going to keep going. And I thought, right, okay, let's just see how far this goes. And I kind of trust you to not balls it up. And I think vice versa. And
that's the thing, is I think it comes down to trust and to, by coincidence, we are friends. That makes things a little bit easier. But I just think it's, in conclusion...
Jeff was enjoying himself.
Jeff was loving himself. In conclusion...
And it keeps him off the road.
Will you shut up, please? I'm trying to wrap it up. We've only got 4 seconds left. Anyway, we've run out of time. So thanks a lot, Kath. Cheers.